Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Pokemon trainers, and Poke fans everywhere. This is your favorite, Dr. Professor Oak, here today with an awesome deck. So I already did a gameplay for this, and I told you guys how awesome this deck actually is. And I already said, in my opinion, this might be the most powerful deck in Standard right now. But before I start off this video, I want to take a second here to thank all our viewers so far. In the first week of our channel, we are hurtling towards 500 views total. That's really awesome. We have 12 subscribers already. Thank you so much, guys. We really appreciate it. Just want to take a second here to say that we don't get any money out of this. This is completely done for free on our own time for no profit whatsoever. It's just so we could get out this great content for you guys, and we're really passionate about the game. We love Pokemon. We've been playing it all the way back from the 1990s, from when it was released. So this is just for all of our mutual love for Pokemon, right? So what we have to ask of you guys is just, if you like a video, if you really like something that we've uploaded, a deck profile, gameplay, anything, just share the link with 1 or 2 of your friends. That's literally all you need to do for one video, and that would mean mountains and mountains to us. So that's pretty much it. That's all I wanted to say there. Thanks to all our viewers, really, for keeping our channel, giving your support to our new channel, keeping it running, keeping the flame going, so to speak, and we hope that you'll continue to do so going forward. With that being said, let's jump into the deck profile here for the awesome ReshiZard Blacephalon Fire deck. You can already see the Blacephalon in the background. Here it is. Here it is. It's a very simple deck, and sometimes simplicity is the best. Now, when I say powerful, is this the best deck out there? Maybe not. Is it going to work in 100% of the situations? Not really, but come on. Rarely do decks work in 100% of all situations, right? There's going to be weaknesses. But is this fun to play? Heck yes. Is this going to stomp your opponent? Heck yes. If you pull it off, and if you play it right, you'll have a lot of fun doing it. So how does this work? So this deck, I came up with this just last night. It was inspired from the Hat Ladies deck. That video should be posted, going live shortly. Hat Ladies Birds, so we're using the Moltres, Articuno, Zapdos trio with ReshiZard and the Hat Ladies in that. But although that deck is really strong and really fun when you do pull it off, it's a little inconsistent. I've noticed that while playing the deck. I've noticed that while like drawing cards, and I'm a lot of times where, you know, the games are, you know, 70%, even I'll go to say 65% of the games you'll win it. It's just, you know, it's a great deck with a great setup engine, but there are chances where your essential cards will get prized, where you're not drawing good cards, and in situations like that, that deck really fails and really struggles a lot, I would have to say, and is gonna draw out the game, which is not that great. So I was thinking, how do I make this more consistent? Because there's 2 problems with the Birds deck, right? The tag team trio needs like 3 different energies and then 1 more to even get going, and that's super annoying because you can't really attack, and then you want to power up your ReshiZard, which delays powering that up, blah blah. So I was like, okay, what is the strongest card in the game? Why does ReshiZard work so well? And of course, the answer is a good old Welder. Of course, right? Welder broken. Attach 2 fire energies, draw 3 cards. And that is the crux of what is going to make this deck work if our Hat Ladies don't do the trick, right? So, how do we play this? Okay, I don't think I need to explain these cards. ReshiZard, we've seen a lot of play already. You guys should know what he does. And our backup secondary attacker also can be our primary in certain cases, is our Blacephalon-GX, with Mind Blown for 2 energies. You guys know what he does. He sends fire energies from your active Pokemon into the Lost Zone, so you can do 50 damage for each energy that you discard that way. So, maximum power, right? How do we do this? Here we go. 3 ReshiZards, 2 Blacephalons, 2 Cherish Balls, 2 Switch, 2 Power Plant, 4 Cynthia, 16 of the Hat Ladies, 4 Green's Exploration, 1 Lusamine, and 20 fire energies. That's the deck. That's it. Right? That's pretty much it. No gusting. There's no space for that. If you want to play an OP deck like this, you're going to have to make OP sacrifices. That means no custom catcher, just because we can't run 16 hat ladies. I tried removing one hat lady each for custom catcher, and it makes the deck way too inconsistent. So, no gusting. We're just going to play with the hopes that we're going to wipe out all of our opponent's Pokemon before they even get to set up. The concept is to be able to get early game, like turn 2 or turn 3, Morgan out with the hat lady combo. And then attach as many energies. On a good draw, we have a maximum potential of finding 12. And if you do, you win the game. Basically, you don't need to do anything beyond attaching those 12 energies, which is nuts, right? Because 12 energies is a fully set up ReshiZard, 2 fully set up ReshiZards if you want it, or a fully set up ReshiZard, a second ReshiZard with Flare Strike. He can't use the double GX, but how many double Blaze GXs do you need? Or you only get 1. So you have 6 on one, 4 on the other, and then you have 2 left which you can put on a Blacephalon. GG, well played right there, right? You have Switch, so you can swap out your ReshiZards and not lose energy, so you can play Blacephalon, and then immediately after a double Blaze or a Flare Strike 230, double Blaze 300, you can again, mind blown, just get rid of all the cards on the ReshiZard for another 300 if you need to. So if your opponent's playing 2 tag teams, and you could basically OHKO them immediately if you get the ideal setup. You can take multiple turns to get that setup, because if they're playing tag teams too, let's be honest, the other quickest setup is only the ReshiZard Welder combo, and if he does that and he starts hitting your Reshi, just bench 1 and start stacking that one while you have 2 energies running on your Reshi for outrage. So if he hits you, you hit him back harder. You'll out trade unless he double blazes you. That's all you have to watch out for, because that does do 300 damage and OHKOs any of your Pokemon. So apart from that, the rest of them, like Mewtwo, unless like he gets a really good Malamar engine like second turn or something crazy like that, all these turns, all these decks will give you multiple turns to set up your hat ladies. So don't worry if you're not drawing all 4 in the first turn, which is probably not going to happen. If you have 2 and a greens, that's a perfect hand. If you have 1 and a greens, you can still make it work in 2 turns. So getting greens is super essential for this deck, and hopefully you don't prize too many of them. One of them is prized, you can survive. 2 of them is prized, it's going to be a little tough. But we have Welder, right? That's the beautiful thing about this deck. Running 20 energies means that you're gonna end up with energies in your hand more often than not. That means in the case that you can't pull off the hat ladies, right? In the case that you can't do that, you play the Welder game, right? You Welder attach for 2 energies and a fire on anything you want, and then you get 4 energies on the second turn for Flare Strike. If you double Welder, that's 6 energies for double Blaze instantly. So Welder's kind of like your safe zone for when those hat ladies don't do what they need to do. That's what we're running 4 Welders, as many as we can have, and that's going to be our other saving grace. If you only get to attach one energy and you're running like a dry hand, you can also just Welder for 1 and then draw 3 cards, and then hopefully you get either greens or a Dana or a Morgan, Nita, or Evelyn in your hand, and then you can play accordingly. So multiple options that Welder really provides for this deck. We're playing the 2 power plants in this, super essential for those annoying abilities like Caldeo, like Zeraora, like Sylvala. Like, cut off your opponent's abilities. We have none, we lose nothing. And then we're playing, obviously, the Lusamine, which I love so much. I've already said this, but I'll say it again here. Sorry if I'm repeating myself too many times, but the Lusamine is super useful in this deck, not only for the Stadium Wars, but if you've played a Morgan, Evelyn, Dana, Nita combo, and then you only got like 2 energies and you do reshuffle, or if you got like 3 energies and there's still a lot more energies in the deck and you want to play it again, so you Lusamine and grab the 2 ladies that you need, and then you can search for 2 more ladies, or hope you draw 2 more ladies, which will happen as you keep thinning your deck here. It's going to be a little difficult early on, but as you attach energies with Welder, and as you get your Pokemon out, as you get your stadiums out, and you start playing your greens, the deck will thin pretty quickly, and you should be able to access all your ladies and Welder. So that is the concept with which this deck is being played. Now, strategies. So I've already gone over some of the strategies you can use while explaining the cards, but you can also look at Nita, which is really good. You can stall your opponent while you set up. Be careful how many of these you play though. Like, playing 1 is okay, because you still have 3 to fall back on, but make sure if you have 4 in your deck, then you can probably play 2. If one of them is prize, be a little more cautious. But yeah, you can put it back on the top of their deck. It's not like the ultimate burn, but if you have, you know, if they play something that shuffles their deck, or I don't know, just like there's no reset stamp in here. I can't find space to put in a reset stamp. The only thing I can think of is like switching out Switch. I showed a variant with Fire Crystal in the gameplay video, so that'll be in there as well, where we run 1 less Switch, 1 less energy, and we get Fire Crystal and a basic Blacephalon Ultra Beast for his Fireball Circus attack with 3 fire energies, discard fire energies from your hand to do damage. And that's for one of those pesky situations where you don't want to lose too many prize cards because it's going to die next turn and you want to do damage, or you're against like an Alola Ninetales. That's in there. That's a variant, but I like this variant better. It's worked out for me so far. I've had 4 wins, 0 losses in the versus so far. Pretty brutal deck, and I think one of my opponents just like surrendered as soon as I played Morgan. He was just like, well played, and then surrendered. So I think he got a little salty. But yeah, that's the deck. Hopefully we'll get some more gameplays out for you as soon as this is over, and show you what this is all about. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are back with the Troll Fire deck, running Blacephalon-GX, the ReshiZard, and our good old Hat Ladies. We got the coin flip. Let's see if we can get the game. Okay. That's pretty good. A greens or the last Hat Lady would be a super duper awesome. Fingers crossed. We got a Welder and a Fire Energy, so that's not the worst thing. This is Chandelure. We got all of our Hat Ladies too. Absolutely fantastic. If we could rush Cherish Ball next turn or a basic, that would be awesome. So we could just full attach here. We are going to be killing everything. If he doesn't bench basics here quickly, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. There's a Giant Hearth. That actually works out for us too, because we can draw fire energies as well. If we get like a Welder or something. But we really need a basic. We just want a basic so we can get the best fresh Dana Morgan. We'll have 3 energies in our hand. That means there's 17 in the deck. Prep up our Reshi. For maximum damages. I don't even want to give him a chance to attack here. That's the goal. But if we don't get another Pokemon, then like our Morgan might just get wasted. He's putting in a lot of work for like 1 turn. We are definitely going to kill this Litwick next turn. Okay, we got a Welder. Honestly, oh, they were on top. I probably shouldn't have done that. I don't know. Here we go. Please give me, okay. Okay, that's good. That is really good. Super duper. I'm just considering which one do I want to put it on. I don't even need that much damage. This one. Let's go. Flare Strike here. 230. We can play Morgan next turn now, since we can attach. So he's gonna go for the Spirit Burner. Probably gonna look for a Fire Crystal here to attach if he doesn't have energies. Oh, well, he has some hearts, so he's gonna go with that. So if he does damage to us, that's beneficial to us because we can just Outrage next turn and save our double blazes in case we need to. And this Reshi can now be switched out for the other one as soon as we play Morgan here. So we're pretty good. We're pretty good. And then we can also greens the turn after for a Cherish Ball and get out our... we can Cherish Ball switch and then just get our Blacephalon out here. So he doesn't get any prize cards from our Reshi. And we still get to do maximum damages, right? So this deck is about max damages. I just hope we don't get one hit here. Okay, it doesn't seem like What did he end up getting? Charizard and Lampion. Okay. So let's Morgan this turn. Ah, 130. How much does he do? Discard all fire energy from this Pokemon. This attack does 50 more damage for each card you discarded this way. 2. I don't need Flare Strike with him. Okay. If I retreat him for 3, he'll still be able to use Outrage. I just don't want him to kill my Reshi next turn. I want him bench is the idea here. Alright, we're gonna go for this. That's a good thing about having this many energies. You can do whatever you want. Like, he has a very little chances of being able to one-hit us here. He's throwing Pokemon back into this deck so he can grab basics. If we can grab Blacephalon this turn and grab a switch, we should be really good. So we don't need to, like, discard energies or anything. And then we can grab the rest of our energies with Giant Hearth. Maybe welder them on. Yeah, a lot of possibilities. Let's greens and check out our deck. I'm being lazy about that. I should pay more attention to what's in the deck. He got 2 Dusk Stones, so I'm guessing he has another Lampent or coming up or something. I counted 3, so for 190. Oh, he got another Chandelure out. Is this the... Okay, it's a Delph Fox. Burn. We got the Cherish Ball. Play this if your opponent combines to stage 2, or search your deck with the 2 cards put them in your hand. Oh, this could save us a greens. Because we don't need to rapid attach, right? Is that what this says? Search your deck with 2 cards put them in your hand. Okay. Let's go for this. Oh, I don't need Blacephalon. I need Switch. And... I have one more switch, right? Oh, I only have the one switch. Okay. If I grab switch and welder, or should I grab switch and a fire and energy? Can you get energy from that? Okay, this is what we're gonna do. Hello, Blacephalon. Okay. Then we're gonna 140. He has 130. That's gonna kill him. I don't want to lose my 5 stacked up Reshi here. 6 more energies in the deck. That's good. That's good. Give me something good here. Give me something good. Okay, Nita's not bad. He doesn't have any basics though, so I guess we'll discard. We're gonna look for greens probably next turn, I think. That's probably our best move. Oh lord. He's going for the Brock's Grit this turn, boys and girls. How many cards? Wait, let's check. He has 21 cards, so how many energies are in here? Has he lost like that many? Only 5. Curious. I think he's aiming for like the Chandelure Oko on one of our Pokemon next turn, so we don't have any way of getting energies back from our discard, so we're gonna have to play this smart. We might have to give him a Reshi, to be honest. That's the best way I see this working out. We're gonna play Blacephalon and hope we can get our other Blacephalon here. We have greens. 25 cards, so there's only 6 energies left in the deck, though. And we don't have our other switch. That means it's in the prize card, so we're gonna rely on our other Blacephalon here for our damages. Grab energies. I'll discard the stadium once I'm done with it because I'm gonna welder next turn. We'll drop energies off of him. How much do we need to do? 150. So we do need to take out 3. We got our other switch. Even if he Oko's Blacephalon here, we're still at 1 energy, so it all depends on like what happens this turn, to be honest. If he doesn't get enough discards, we're okay. Is going for it here. He might have gotten 2. Yeah, I think we're good. I think we're good. Yep, we are golden, boys and girls. So let's welder 2 fire energies onto our second Blacef. And then let's attach 1 fire energy to our Reshi. Switch. And yeah. Yeah, we're golden here. Like, literally, nothing else we need to do. Giant Hearth. I don't need you. Give me my energies, just in case. But, yeah, there's the victory. In the Chandelure. We play a lot against Chandelure, but that was a good deck. So you see how, like, efficiently we can just keep swapping there? Like, the retreat costs are expensive, right? 3 retreat for a Reshi. But if you play your energies right and you know, because the Blacephalon is super useful. Exactly as I said in the deck profile and in the, excuse me, their intro for this video. Once your Reshi gets damaged, you just bench him, bring out Blacephalon, and then all those energies you put on your Reshi are now useful because Blacephalon will burn them for damage. So there you go, guys. There's a gameplay for you. I think I might just tag the deck profile and these 2 gameplays into one video because I think the deck profile was relatively short for this straightforward deck. But you can see what I mean about, like, the powerhouse, right? Because we were doing early on, like with our ReshiZards, the reason I didn't want to keep attacking with them is we didn't need that much damage, right? 230, 200 plus for like a stage 2 Charizard, for like a Chandelure. They're all 150 below, right? 150 or below. So that's, we don't even need it. Maybe if I just played Blacephalon out early, I probably didn't have a chance to, because we got the Cherish Ball later. We got the Blacephalon in our hand later, and it took a while to get greens. But the initial Morgan play really set us up for some great attacks later on, and then we just swapped officially. It got a little close there, since we were at 3 prize cards, but then if you do lose a Reshi, you're automatically at 3 prize cards, so that's going to happen a lot of your games. Don't worry about that. But after that, it's important that you don't lose the second Reshi, because that's game over, right? So you want to try and play with your Blacephalons, with your switches. That's why there's 2 switches in there. Use them as smart as possible, like we just did. Good thing we grabbed that second switch. Worst case, we would have retreated our Blacephalon for 2, and then used the energies on our ReshiZard to attack, and then we would have had 2 more energies left, 1 more energy attached to it, so 150 damage. We would have definitely gotten the win there. So play smart, look at your deck, and I really hope you have fun playing this troll, overpowered Welder, Hat Lady, ReshiZard, Blacephalon mixed up, crazy insane Fire Blast deck. Like and subscribe for more great PTCGO content. This is your favorite Dr. Prof Oak signing off. Alright, we're against a Steel Psychic deck, and apparently he has the advantage. Hopefully we get first turn here. Oh, come on. Give us something. Okay, no basic, so we're gonna mulligan. We're probably gonna mulligan a lot this deck. That's some nice cards he's got there, though. I like the Solgaleo. Steel and Psychic, was it? We have the greens. So we could go double Reshi here, but I really want like a Welder. So I might look for the Welder here with greens and then grab a second greens. Hopefully we draw into 1 more of our Hat Ladies. All the steel cards have double fire weakness, so question mark, question mark. From there, maybe. Order pad, look for an item, reveal it. It's probably gonna go for the Cherish Ball here. Treasure, yep. Get another basic out. Does this run? Don't tell me this runs Incant Malamar for like psychic energies for some reason. No, it's a Cosmo. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. I goofed, yeah. I think this reduces damage. Yeah, takes 30 of this damage after applying resistance and weakness. Attacks and abilities can't put any damage counters on. Okay. Alright, let's see what we got. We got a Cynthia, a Greens, and a Morgan and 2 Fire Energies. If we got one more Fire Energy, well, that would have been nice. We could look for Energy Cynthia, but then we may never draw a Greens, which I don't want to risk. There's no way he's going to one-shot us. Let me grab a Welder so I can draw cards next turn. And then we also have the green, so we can draw our Hat Ladies and maybe another Cherish Ball. That's all I'm going to do this turn. Let's see how that works out. He gets 1 Steel Pokemon, so he's probably going to go for the... Solgaleo? Okay. I was thinking of this guy's evolution, I forgot his name. Oh dang, I owned one of these Pokemon, cool. I can remember what he looks like, I just can't get the names right now. Oh, he reset stamp does. That's fun. Alright. Okay, well, best reset stamp ever by this lovely gentleman. That could not have worked out any better, to be honest. I'm gonna knock out his Mount Coronet. We're gonna Cherish Ball. We could get the Blacephalon, but I'm really just thinking of double Reshi here. Next turn we can Greens and grab like all our energies basically. Outrage will do 40. He has 250, but then I have double damage for weakness. That's 80 minus 30 is 50. Am I in like a real hurry to kill this fellow here? Because I could Flare Strike and I still wouldn't kill him, right? But I can't use Flare Strike next turn. I would only draw a card. If I have 2 more on him, I can double Blaze. Attach 2 basic energy cards, deal all damage from all of your Pokemon. 230 is gonna double up. Okay, you know what? I don't want this to come back and bite me here. I'll just do the 50 this turn. Because we want to be able to Flare Strike as soon as he comes out, right? This doesn't have fire weakness. We're going to need 1 more turn first. So unless we draw a Welder, there's no way we're getting 2 energies on him for double Blaze in 1 turn. So even if I Outrage next turn, that still gives me Flare Strike and potentially 1 double Blaze after that. Yeah. Melmetal! Okay, that's what it was. Okay, that was Meltan. This is Melmetal. Okay. Okay, that's really, really good, actually. We can, there's no way he's getting Go Code, right? 120, and yeah, no, there's no way. Okay, so let's Greens for a Morgan, and then another Greens. Honestly, we could just Morgan Cynthia for a fresh round. But then I could also want a Greens for a Switch. Is our Power Plant still out? There's only 1 more Greens. I could use a Welder if I have energies, but if we get a good Morgan, then we're pretty much... How many energies do we have? We have 12 energies in our deck. Alright. Let's grab this Cynthia. We already got reset stamped once. So we're gonna Flare Strike this turn. He's done. Let's see what we get here. Okay, nice. We got a fire. So that's a definite double Blaze GX for us next turn. And then whatever we get from Morgan and our troop here of ladies is bonus, pretty much. So even if he uses Turbo Strike, the worst he can do is, yeah, get 2 energies. I gotta admit, that animation for steel attacks is awesome. Even the dragon ones are pretty awesome too. So, alright, here we go. Oh, because I can't use this again. Okay, that's why. I was like, does that debuff me in any way? Alright, here it is. Bup, bup, bup. Oh, that is beautiful. That is really, really good. So even if one Reshi goes down, the second Reshi is up and waiting. Here it is. GX attack. 600 damage. We should be looking at the FF here soon. I don't see any way for him to win this, because if I Outrage, he dies. If I Flare Strike, he dies. If I switch and Flare Strike, he dies. Even if he benches a basic, like, what is he gonna set up here? I have 10 energies in play. As I was saying, guys, this deck is well over what I would consider broken, right? This is nuts. This is nutter butter. He's going for it. He's setting up here. He believes. He believes. Worst case, we'll wait for a switch. And we'll switch out. We have 10 energies here. That means we have 2 more energies in our deck. And at least a couple more energies in our prize cards. So we'll switch out, and then we'll put 2 energies in Blacephalon and just keep using Mind Blown in case he finds some way to damage our all-powerful ReshiZards. Because we don't need any more energies on this Reshi, right? So we could just set up another Reshi, or just go for the Blaseph here. We don't need to. We don't need to. As I was saying, this deck is ridiculous. Ridiculous, ladies and gentlemen. I keep telling you guys that Welder, 1080 damage, right? Was that like, let's look at the game log, right? Turn 10, but we were doing damage well before that. Well before that. We got the Outrage out turn 3 or 4. Here's turn 3. Fire energy, fire energy. Yeah, so he did 10 damage to us on turn 4, and then we used, on our turn 4, we did Outrage. And then we did Flare Strike, and then we followed up with our GX attack, 600 damage. It's nuts. Like, we had 10 energies on the board, right? And that was on 2 ReshiZards, like the most powerful broken GX right now with Welder, right? Not only do we have Welder in this deck, which energy accelerates and lets you draw cards. I'm literally counting days before it gets pulled out of standard, right? Because it's nuts. It's nuts. That card, no, there's only one of 2 things they can do to balance this out, okay? They can introduce other cards which potentially provide something similar in terms of mechanics for other energies, then making everything busted, because now you have all combinations of energy acceleration, but that will level out the game, right? Fire decks will not have so much prominence if you can accelerate energy onto a Keldeo, right? And you're done. The only reason that you can't really do anything with things like Keldeo right now, if your opponent plays a power plant, Welder first turn, your Keldeo is going to be dead in like the second turn, right? So you don't have time to react. You're not going to be able to attack. But think about getting like 1 set of energy acceleration, 3 energy cards onto Keldeo, 110, double onto fire, 220. That's nuts, right? That's nuts. At worst, you lose your Keldeo, but then you can kill him with what, the 50 HP he has left. So things like that. It's just, so Welder. Okay, so this deck has Welder in it. This deck has Blacephalon-GX. Actually, here, why don't I just show you? I will do the deck profile very quick peek. 2 Blacephalons, 3 Reshis, 2 Cherish, 2 Switch, 2 Power Plant, 4 Hat Ladies of each. The beautiful Hat Ladies, 4 Welder, 1 Lusamine to grab the stadiums if you need them, or greens, 2 Power Plants, 4 greens Exploration for the engine, and then 20 Fire Energies. Yeah, we're gonna have to run 20 Fire Energies. That means that the downsides to the caveats to this deck are you could end up mulliganing a lot. That means your opponent like could draw. When I was testing against the bot, Well, I do that for consistency. That's something you could try. Just like, you don't have to play the game. Just run it against the bot, see what kind of hand you draw first turn, second turn, concede, and then try again. And just see how consistent your deck is, see what gets prized. I think that's a really great way to like check out decks. But when I was playing against a bot, I think I mulliganed like 4 times one game. But on average, you will mulligan at least once with this deck because you will have only 5 Pokemon. But any Pokemon that you get is basic. Playing Blacephalon out early isn't bad either. Just be conservative of like how you're attacking, because you're gonna lose energies into the lost zone, so there's like no way for you to get them back after that. And you still want your Reshis healthy. You want 6 on one Reshi and at least 4 energies on another Reshi, and that's like pretty much GG win unless you're playing against like a water deck or something. So in case as I was saying during the game earlier, in case your Reshi gets like damaged or something and it's like really close to dying, you don't have a lot of energies in your deck, we can't get the energies back from discard, so what I would suggest in that situation is to just pull out your Blacephalon, hook him up with 2 energies, and start discarding energies off of that damaged ReshiZard. 6 energies on a damaged Reshi is still 300 damage with Blacephalon-GX is mind blown. So I think you can see why this deck works. It's just straightforward, right? Use greens, get your hat ladies, play them. If you don't have greens and you're stuck with Welder and energies, still that's not a problem. Welder your energies onto your Reshi or Blacephalon and do that, because that's still broken, right? That's the only reason like Green's ReshiZard works, is because you can Welder greens for Welder and then Welder your energies on, and you can also grab energies with Fire Crystal. So like, okay, just as I said the word Fire Crystal, that gave me an idea to like throw a Fire Crystal in here somehow. It's a little difficult. We really need like 2 Cherish Balls is like low as it is, but with like 5 basic Pokemon, I feel like we can draw out our Cherish Ball with our greens if we need to, and we'll have at least 1 big basic on the bench. It's a risk worth taking just to make space, because the Hat Ladies themselves take up 16 spots, right? 4 of each, and you have to have 4 for this deck to work. I tried running 3, it's just not consistent. 4 of each have the Hat Ladies. The only thing, like 20 energies is what you need this to be consistent too, because you look at 12 cards with Morgan, right? And if you get a good Morgan, you're looking at 6 to 8 energies. If you get a bad Morgan, you're looking at as less as like 1 or 2 energies, which is basically like a Welder. And that's a lot of effort for a Welder. So that's where the deck goes a little topsy-turvy if you get a bad Morgan for some reason. So to avoid that, we're going to be running 20 energies. There's just no way you're gonna get like 3 or 4 is the average with a 20 energy stack. Like I think one of these games I prized like 3 energy cards, and I still got like 4 energies, which is like 1 full ReshiZard Flare Strike setup, or 2 Blacephalons and then 1 Mind Blown for like 200 damage. So still pretty good numbers on that. You see why that, and then I was running it with no stadiums in our Hat Birds. And that can be very, very detrimental if you just let your opponent have his way with the stadium war. So 2 power plants and then just 1 Lusamine to grab those power plants back in a tight stadium situation. Lusamine can also, Lusamine has double like this is a great card. Great card. It has double purpose in this deck. Like imagine you just played Morgan, right? You discard everything, but you still have like a Dana in your hand, right? And you draw maybe a Nita or an Evelyn or a Morgan next turn. You can play Lusamine and grab the other 2 back and just rinse repeat on the following turn, because your deck will get shuffled. So you can just literally grab whatever's left of your energies, and if you have like 2 Reshis and a Blacephalon on the bench, you know what to do. Slap them on there and burn away. Yeah, you can see that determined look on these guys' faces. Well, most of them. But yeah. So that's that deck for you. Hopefully we'll have more gameplay coming up for you. I'm going to do a deck profile following this video, because this deck is just awesome. It's fun. It's powerful. It's up there. It's consistent. It's not like Birds where you're looking for like 3 different type of energies and have to make room for that. It's just energies, right? Fire energies, basic, Blacephalon. The power plant is also for the Keldeo situation, so you can play that, search for that, and then blow up a Keldeo. No issues, because you only need like 1 turn, right? A full Reshi or a full Blacephalon could blow up a Keldeo in 1 turn with power plant. So that's what that's for, pretty much. And to also like stop peak Rominance tracks with like killing their owner's retreat ability. Anyone that's running a Sylvali, things like that. Power Plant is super for that. I was gonna say one thing. Oh yeah. The only thing I can think of that really would mess with this deck at this point, a Alolan Ninetales, the normal variant, not the GX, because Power Plant can't shut it down, right? Power Plant can't shut it down. That means a slight variation that we could make to kind of fix that. We'll play the non-GX Blacephalon in here, right? And then we don't want to be discarding cards from that one. Okay. Put one of those. So what are we gonna lose is like the big question here. Oof, like running 3 Cynthias is just super duper risky. No, we can't risk that at all. Only thing I could think of is this for 19 energies, and then this is like impossible choices right here. I guess you'll have to make do with one less switch, but yeah, but there's a variant for you guys. That's something for you to try, in case like that one random, but as I was saying, like no deck can beat every deck. It's gonna get countered at some point, but there is a slight variant for you guys here with the Blacephalon basic. So in case they have that, you can just like Blazer and try to get that 60 damage, or you can just Fireball Circus. Hopefully you have enough fire cards, and that's just we're going to be discarding energies. There's a Fire Crystal in there to grab it for you, but that means now you're playing with 19 energies. You got to keep that in mind. I don't know if it makes a huge difference, but at least there's like one more basic Pokemon for you to sacrifice in between turns or something. Whatever, it's there. That's the only other real suggestion I can think of. Since we are running Blacephs, like if we lose our ReshiZard early, maybe B-String, since we're running like this Blacephalon too. But then where would you make space for it? If you can figure it out, let me know. Let me know what you think of this deck. I'll have more gameplay and the deck profile coming up for you guys soon. Like and subscribe for more great Pokemon TCGO content. This is your favorite Dr. Professor Oak signing off. Have a good day, good night, wherever you are, and have fun playing this overpowered Troll Fire deck with the Hat Ladies.